Hello and welcome to Perspectives. As you can see, we have an interesting set of guests here. Um, the simplicity in life is where the magic is. My mother has been close to this art form, the flower. I don't even know how to introduce it right. The flower arranging art form, as I would call it, Ikebana, and I've seen her do it for the past 25, 30 odd years. And I've always wondered, all she has in a vase is a simple stem, and she doesn't appreciate it. I'm like, what am I supposed to appreciate? Just a stem, or a single flower, or a single flowing leaf. But over the years, I have learned not to argue with her, and understood there must be something beautiful about it. I'm just being careless here. The fact is that the simple things in life make the biggest difference. The Karachi chapter of IKEBANA, which I think is the only IKEBANA chapter in Pakistan. And just as we started, I was asking the lovely lady sitting here, are there any men in this chapter? And they said no. I think men like me think it's below them to deal with nature. I have a lot of orchids in my house because of my mother and my wife, and I very often take pictures and I put them up on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. And one day somebody commented, look at this journalist who thinks he's this hardcore journalist, and all he does is put sissy pictures of flowers. It was a facepalm moment. I'm like, flowers are life. Flowers are beautiful. Why are we so far away from life? Why do we not appreciate life much? And with that, I'd like to link LRBT, which is one of the I don't like the word charity, but one of the charities operating in Pakistan forever, and is doing amazing work. Unfortunately, media remembers charities only in Ramadan, and we would invite them, beg for zakat, encourage people to give them money, and then we forget all about it. But the IKEBANA chapter of Karachi, the ladies there are in the process of, I think, a 10-day. I would like to ask them to tell you more about it. A 10-day series of events, activities, trainings, and on the 13th of this month, they have a larger event where they will be raising money for LRBT. To my absolute pleasure, I was just told that they've actually sold out the event. So nobody can buy tickets for that, but you can certainly send money in, if you know what I mean. And another great pleasure, they have invited a friend of theirs from Singapore, and he has been kind enough to come to Pakistan and is conducting these workshops and spending time here, for which I would like to thank him even before I introduce him. I'd like to introduce my guest on my far right, Mr. Saqib Hamid, who is the Honorary Vice Chairman and CEO of LRBT. Thank you very much for coming. On my right, Dr. Nuzar Jameel. She's the first Jamali, my apologies. Who's the first Vice President of IKEBANA International Karachi Chapter. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to skip the gentleman on my left, and I'll introduce him last. On my far left, I have Ms. Nafisa Beg, who is the President of IKEBANA International Karachi Chapter right now. And, of course, with great honor and pleasure, introducing Mr. Christopher Lim, who is from Singapore, florist. I don't even know how to introduce Chris. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, what you do. I see an AIFD on your card, and I see a Komon on your card. So please tell us what you do.
I am a Komon, which is a title given by the Sugatsu School in Japan that is an advisor role to the school. Okay. To attend this rank of a Komon, you take at least about 15 to 18 years. But I got this within 12 years.
Well, that's super.
Yes. So I skip classes and do more work, and that's how I get my rank of a Komon.
So you got points for field work. You were telling me before the show that you travel a lot.
Yes.
This is your first time in Pakistan?
Oh, yes. This is the first time. I've traveled to almost all parts of the world, and this is my first visit to Pakistan, to Karachi, and I think I'll come here more often.
I was about to say this is last. Is this what you expected?
No, fortunately or unfortunately, no. I didn't expect the country to be so peaceful. People are so absolutely friendly, and I really enjoy. I've been here 4 days now. I really thoroughly enjoy the hospitality by the members of IKEBANA International Karachi Chapter, as well as the people that I've met. Um, and upon arrival from the airport to the um, shoppers and the sales assistant, they are absolutely smiling and such a welcome place to be here.
Could you please tell them that I didn't pay you to say all of that?
Oh well, this is the truth from the heart.
I want to thank both of you and your chapter for inviting Chris over here. Tell us what you were thinking when you really asked him to come out here.
Well, you know, Faisal, IKEBANA has a passion with us, and we want to learn more and more. Every time there's something new, as Christopher knows, and he's teaching us now. So we just haven't had masters for a long time. In the beginning, the Japan Foundation and the Japanese consulate used to help us get teachers. So we had met Christopher in Hyderabad when we'd gone for a regional conference. And I was very impressed with
Hyderabad, India.
Hyderabad, India. We had a regional conference there, which we have every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Christopher's work. And then Facebook came along, so we saw more of his work. And so I chatted with him. And I said, Chris, would you like to come to Karachi and honor us with a visit? And he said, definitely, why not? So we started the ball rolling. And then we thought, why not do it we have a fundraiser every 2 years
Mm-hmm.
for different special institutes. And this time we thought LRBT. So we contacted LRBT and they were very happy. And we have a very good relationship with them. They have helped us a lot. We've helped them, tried to. And I feel it's an honor that I'm a part of this event that we are going to hold at the Sheraton.
No, I think it's our honor. It's Pakistan's honor that people like you do these things. And of course, again, welcome once again. I'd like to say it again. And Pakistan is going through a phase, unfortunately, of bad perception. May I say bad press? So when friends like yourself come out here, it's a great pleasure. We just love it. And then for free, if you say good things about us, that's even better. Dr. Sabah, please add to it. What all are your events that you're doing right now, and what was the idea behind inviting Christopher over here, and also why LRBT?
Actually, Christopher we invited because, as she said, the only thing is that we want to learn, we want to advance. And since here we don't have teachers who are really going abroad and taking training, so we thought he visits Japan so often and his experiences. So we are very happy to have him. And I think we've had yesterday and today workshops with him, and we have learned a lot. Every moment has been a learning experience for us. So, and I really feel tomorrow we again have a class with him, and we are looking forward to that we will be learning something more. And it's so engrossing that we don't even realize that we've been sitting there from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock, and how time passes. We don't even want to go out for lunch. We sat there. We were
I
asked to
know,
leave.
because my mother earlier this afternoon called my wife. I think she was trying to get a sandwich.
Yes.
Yes. So I know that you
didn't want to leave.
That you guys are working hard.
Actually, we were supposed to take him to the Marriott for lunch. But then, we were so enthusiastic about learning more that we forgot about that, and we just had sandwiches.
Slave drivers. And you do hospitality?
But we asked him. We asked him first.
Okay, that's why I'm so dead tired after all this lesson.
I'm going to talk about there's an arrangement sitting there which Christopher's already done, and a good fortune that Christopher's also brought some stuff, and I would request him to do an arrangement for us while we do. Christopher, would you like to tell us about that? I mean, that's one of those my mother things which I've never understood. Please.
This metal container is recently done by my host, Naya's husband, and he created this design using metal. And when you brought back to the house, which I'm staying with her now, I saw this is a fantastic design of a vase that I have to use it to do arrangement. So before the wife use it, I make use of it first.
If I may interject, in IKEBANA, I think the containers are very important. Am I right?
No,
No.
that's where you're wrong.
They're completely unimportant.
They can complement the arrangement,
Okay.
and the arrangement can overpower the container. So it's a two-way basis.
Okay. Please.
Right. And I use these lines to emphasize on the arch of this whole design. So it comes out to be something modern and something different, and you can see some Japanese lines in the whole design.
When you say Japanese lines, what do you mean?
When we see in Ikebana, we always give void line. That means a lot of holes in between the arrangement. In Western arrangement, we fill it up full.
True.
So you can see the void line, lots of void line, but the lines is always flowing into a direction. Just like in the life, we go into one direction, or we aim for our dream. So in Ikebana, that's what we are doing.
Well, like I said, I need to attend one of your workshops. Question: are they open to public or they're not?
Can you come tomorrow?
Actually, maybe.
Yes, we have a workshop tomorrow.
No lunch.
Yes, you come and we don't give you lunch. We'll give you
Okay. Are they open to public or they're not open to public?
No. We have at the consulate.
We have a small place, so 20 people, and
So it's a private.
Yes. No, but you can come as an onlooker.
No,
you can get
but I'm talking about generally. If
No,
people
it's
watching,
not.
if somebody,
not at the workshop.
but it's for members only.
It's for members.
And you do take in new members,
Yes, oh yes. In
amorateurs,
fact,
people starting out, and the learning opportunity within the club.
Right.
So if
we have teachers, and they teach the people, but
regular sessions.
Well, yes, if they want to learn.
So any young lady or young man who's interested in joining Karachi IKEBANA chapter, they can join and they can learn this beautiful.
Yes.
Super. Sir, LRBT, it's been a while since you and I have had this on-air conversation. Tell us what LRBT is up to. I would also like to hear what are your funding requirements now, and are you managing? You're always short. Everyone's always short. But what sort of needs are you looking at right now?
This year we reached the 25th million patient treated milestone.
Mashallah, phenomenal.
So we've been around now for 27 years, and we've grown from a small mobile unit to 17 hospitals, 52 clinics,
Mashallah,
spread all over the country, which are located in such a way that no Pakistani is more than a 3-hour bus ride from any one of our facilities.
Fantastic.
So we really have national coverage. Now, we treat about 2.2 million patients.
My apologies. For those who would not know what LRBT is, please do tell.
Faisal, 27 years ago, our two founders, Zakar Rahmatullah and Graham Nathan, they were retiring.
Sure.
Right? So they decided to do something for society, which in those days wasn't that common. Nowadays, a lot of people give back to society, but they were one of the earlier pioneers in this area. And they looked at which area to invest in, and they found that one of the major issues in this country was blindness. Right? And not much was being done about it. So currently, for example, we have about 11% of our population which is either blind or has impaired vision. Luckily, the people who are blind are about 1.8 million only, and the ones who have impaired vision but didn't become blind are something in the region of about 18 million. So you're talking about 11% of the population. So it's a major issue.
That's a dangerous number, isn't it?
It is a dangerous number. And not much attention was being paid to this particular area. So they decided to focus on delivering free eye care, free quality eye care to the people of this country. So the ambition was huge, But we started off with a small mobile unit because that is all that we could afford. But because of the work that we did and the confidence that the donors had in us, we've been able to grow. And as I said, from say 11,500 patients that we treated in our first year of existence, last year we treated 2.2 million patients.
Wow.
This year it will be about 2.4 million. We have a growth rate of about between 8 to 10% every year. Which means, of course, new hospitals, expanded facilities, new treatments, latest machinery. All of this requires money.
What are the numbers like?
Well, for our treatment expenses, in other words, operating expenses, the amount of money that we require to treat the 2.4 million patients who are going to come, we require 530 million rupees, 53 crores. We require about another 100 million or 10 crores of rupees for capital expenditure, which is new equipment.
Sure.
There is a new hospital that we are building in Swat. There are two major expansions that we are doing some of our hospitals, one in Sindh, the other two in Sindh. So those are the areas where the capital expenditure will be spent. So we require in total 630 million rupees. Now that's a huge task to collect. And we have no other revenue except donations and zakat from donors. So now you ask me a question, okay, how are you doing? We're struggling.
You're struggling.
We're struggling.
But you meet your number or you don't meet your number?
Well, you see, it's only this is the third month of the financial year. So far we are just about 6% ahead of the amount we took in last year. We need to be about double that, 12%. So we are struggling. So this event will certainly help us, but we need many, many more events and many more generous donors for us to be able to carry out our activities.
Well, I think beyond events, it should not be the point I made earlier. It should not be just events or just a month of Ramadan where we become amazingly charitable, because I'll go into debate which will offend people. I think it has to be a regular process. And is there a way where people can adopt or maybe put in a cyclic payment? Do you have a process like that?
We have a process. You can do a monthly. You can issue. You can send the bank an order that there should be a monthly amount being sent to that. That is always possible, and some people do that. There are people who've adopted hospitals. They are donors,
Super.
And they give whatever they can afford. Some of them meet the entire cost. Others pay a proportion of the cost, and that helps a great deal.
We say that we're one of the most charitable nations in the world. In all three of you, your experience, how true is that? Be honest.
Yes, I think most of our special institutions, charities as you call it, are really being run by NGOs and people like us, who are interested. I think more needs to be done by the government to help out. Do you agree with me, Faisal?
The issue with the government is, if you look at their finances, they're in even worse shape. We're running a deficit of about 7-8% of GDP. That's unsustainable. You should not have anything more than 2 to 3% maximum.
Regardless of the reasons, but the bottom line is that. Yeah.
Now, you all know the reasons why that is happening, and it is not going to be resolved in a hurry. So the issue is that if we leave it for the government to do something, then nothing can get done. I remember when I was a schoolboy or a college student, and I read a play by Sam Beckett called Waiting for Godot, all of which was one person waiting for somebody called Godot to arrive, and never arrived during the entire play. So that is what would happen. It would never happen during my lifetime. So the question really is that if we can't let the poor people of this country suffer as a consequence. Yeah. So we as members of society have to do something. And it is our duty. We are the fortunate ones. We happen to be born in the right family, got the right education, got into the right job, and got...
The arithmetic was just right.
Yeah, it was just right. And this is just pure chance. Right? It could have happened the other way.
Fluke.
So we owe it. We must give back to society. And I think people who have money or who can afford to give, whatever they can afford to give, should give for the poor.
Yes.
And I think the rewards are not just the fact, the satisfaction that you derive. The reward is also material, because I can tell you that you give and you get back much more, really, than you gave.
That's Allah's promise.
That's Allah's promise.
I need to go to a short break. When we come back from the break, of course, I'm going to request Christopher to make an arrangement for us and tell us what he's doing there as well. I'd like to just also tell you about charity. And I was having a conversation with my sister about an hour ago, and we were discussing charity. I have on our windowsill. My office is on the third floor. So on the windowsill, we've got these little boxes which are windows are inset. So I didn't know what to do with it. So we put a little net in front of it and turn it into an aviary. So the birds, and there's bird food. And the birds, when they flutter, they spread the bird seed, which sort of falls out and just hooks onto the ledge and just gets wasted. There's no way of reaching into it and just sits there. But the most interesting thing happened 2 days ago. And this is the third floor. It's a flat wall. We don't know how it's possible, but a squirrel has found its way to the netting. And every day it hangs on upside down to that netting and picks up that grain from that little hole which gets stuck. The reason I'm telling you this is God will provide, whether LRBT does it or not, whether IKEBANA raises money or not, whether Christopher comes or not. Whoever deserves whatever, nature will take care of it. So when we say we are charitable, don't say it. We're not charitable. We are fortunate that we had the opportunity, that nature chose us to be able to provide for those who are needy. Because nature has many ways of providing. If it chooses us, we are the fortunate ones. So LRBT, someone like Saqib I've known for years, he's one of the chosen ones who God has chosen as an instrument for something like this. And if IKEBANA is doing this, God has chosen them. The opportunity will come to all of us, and we have to take it. And again, before I go for the break, once again, Christopher, thank you for being a part of this process. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll see lovely arrangements here. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Perspectives, and we are here joined by Mr. Saqib from LRBT and also representatives of IKEBANA chapter of Karachi. We have Christopher Lim, who's visiting from Singapore, and we are fortunate. He's brought some flowers and etc. And he's going to show us an arrangement just now. We're talking about charity. In Singapore, Christopher, if I'm not mistaken, the government actually rewards you if you give money to charities, which are registered charities. Dollar.
So you would donate, let's say, example, $1 million. The government will top up another $1 million.
So the match.
Yes.
That's a marvelous.
Match it $1 to dollar. That's
So that is a big encouragement.
Yes, and the amount of you donate will be tax deductible.
Yeah.
So it's like if you give $1, it's tax deductible, and the government will match $1. So many times I question, and I can't say this on air, but I say it. But no, we'll have to see. We have to see who really is the righteous one. I don't know if it's me or not. I don't think it is me. Tell us what you can make for us.
This is a modern work which I'm going to do, and it's going to be just using bamboo. This is dried bamboo, and I'm going to insert this bamboo into this needle holder, which is called a kenzai. We don't in IKEBANA we do not use fluorofoam. We use this kenzai, which is a needle holder. And from
a,
here,
a metallic needle holder.
yes, yes,
Called the
yes. And from here, the arrangement comes up and a display will be up. And you see, what I'm doing now, it's from the back to the front. I'm not facing the arrangement towards me, it's towards the audience.
Okay.
So it's from the back to the front. And from here, this is the asparagus spoon, just to give a little touch to this whole design so that it is soft and unusual. And from here, it is very easy to do. Everybody can do this arrangement. You can attempt
Right.
at home.
Everybody, excluding me, I'm sure.
And
I guess both of us, excluding both.
and arrangement comes up, and you have a simple ikebana.
So that was a minute and a half. I was actually timing it. Now, you said you do not use floral foam. Why?
No. And in ikebana, we use in floral foam. You don't have to actually use a lot of patience. You don't have to use a lot of design. Because the foam will just hold the flowers. When you want it at an angle, it will stay as it is. But with a needle holder, you actually need to understand the plant material, the basic of the weight of the plant, and how the plants moved. It's just like you need to control the whole design to make it smooth and to make it flowy.
So when I was earlier saying simplistic, it's not. It's actually very complicated.
It can be, yes.
So it's not just sticking flowers in a needle holder. It's actually understanding the body, the flow, the weight, the whole dynamic.
You see,
depth in it. If you understand, it's not just you have earth, heaven, and if you go into the details.
Will do as much as the time allows us. I would love to hear it.
There are three main things.
Okay.
It's heaven, earth, and man.
All right.
So this is the concept of ikebana. And space is very important because, as we were told, that there should be enough space for a butterfly to go through it. So there's so much space. So space is there, balance is there, and form is there.
And nature has to flow.
And nature. And God's given gift to us.
I've had various arguments with you, your friends, my mother repeatedly. I do not see your influence in the city. Why?
Our influence in the city? We had a lot of members, Faisal, but unfortunately the fees are high. So we are trying to see if we can cut down that for a bit. And then the youngsters now, their education is so important for the girls and the boys that they don't have time. They have
So
such
was it
busy working
unimportant
hours.
for us?
Sorry?
It was equally important for us.
Meaning?
Why is it so suddenly more important?
No, important in the sense that they want to join. There are a lot of youngsters who want to join. In fact, I have so many nieces who would like to join, and they tell me, please teach us. But they don't have time because they're working. And they have not 9 to 5, but sometimes it's 9 to 7. And then they are young married couples, they have children to look after. And you see, what we want to do, and I'm going to say it in my speech also on that day, is to involve youngsters to join, boys and girls, because there's so much high technology these days that they've forgotten the value of, being a part of something which is so important as spreading friendship, spreading harmony, spreading peace. So for me, this is important that we involve youngsters. So what we do is, we have tried to have children, school children during the summer months to come and take classes free. And we have our teachers at the consulate. So they come and we've had students quite a bit.
So just ask you that question. I'd like you to also help me here. We have forgotten the core essence of life. And I've dealt with many cultures. I've made friends with many, but unfortunately I haven't made many friends with the Japanese. But I do know that that they are very close to nature and life. And all the Asians, actually, even the Chinese, very close to life, and the feng shui and the sciences, the Zen, they're very close to life and the core balances of nature. We have lost that connection. And simple, and when I say simple, these are simple things. In their simplicity, they've got great depth. And we have lost the art, the culture, the music which we had at one time. And simple things like this could maybe bring us back. And I would also like Christopher to comment on what IKEBANA has done for you. Please.
I think there's a great degree of beauty in this, and I think beauty must be a part of everybody's life because it counterbalances the material strivings of our existence. The other thing, of course, also is that beauty and violence are at poles apart, right? So in a society which has become quite violent like ours, anything which tends to focus on beauty and grace, I think would tend to diminish the violence. So it should. But I don't agree with you, Faisal, about the fact that we've lost our contact with the earth. It may be true of the urban areas of this country, certainly not true of the rural areas.
Okay.
Who are very close to the earth, that follow the various moods of the earth, its seasons and the way they turn, and are totally, for them, that is life, because the life is governed by that.
Very well said.
Urban areas, it's different. There I agree. And there we get into the hurly-burly of the...
And this hurly-burly, just to get away from it, if you spend an hour or so doing IKEBANA, you relax.
Meditation.
Yes, meditation. It is. It is.
And I'll tell you one thing else, what I really know, I was watching what you were doing, Christopher. Clearly in your mind you knew what to do. That's why you did it in 1.5 minutes. So, I want you to clarify your thinking, right? I mean, you have
zero in.
And then you go ahead and do it very quickly.
Okay, I want you to do something for me before, and I want you to also tell us what IKEBANA has done for you, how it's affected your life, But what I want you to rearrange this thing differently.
Oh, sure, no problem. Instantly, I can do it. Normally when I do arrangement, I have not come up with a concept of what I want to do.
That's exactly what I was trying to establish. That there was no plan. You do it as you go, like Faisal said.
No, I can do. What I've done is upright style. Now I change completely to have a different concept of this whole idea of the upright style.
The same elements.
Yes, same material. And I'm going to have it in different style now. And this is going to be a centerpiece that will be able to seen at all sides of...
So it's not intrusive between people, right?
No, not at all. This is another design, which you gave me the challenge.
And the Japanese flowing line.
Yes, you gave me the challenge to do it without me having any advanced...
Exactly, that was my point.
Yes, advanced designed. And this is another design of a piece of a centerpiece arrangement.
And it's done.
Yes, it is done. Did you time? How long did I
did.
do this?
It's actually minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah. Well, super. And that was exactly what you were saying. I want you to further establish that you zero in, it's clarity of thought, you get your focus. Christopher, tell us, what has IKEBANA done for you? And what would you say to encourage young people to pick up this art form?
I think IKEBANA is a living subject, and it brings all sort of people together, different culture, different languages, different race, different status, and status of a person together, and we speak in one language, which is flowers. And IKEBANA brings all of us together. With IKEBANA, we showcase the art to the public, and from there, we don't only showcase to ourselves, but to everybody. And from here, we go into other places like to raise funds for the underprivileged. So when you do things like that, you get such a fulfillment of this art, and you help the others. So it goes hand in hand. And it can be from any language, any country, any style, any place, you can do Ikebana.
You're a florist and musical agency.
Yes.
Tell us more about that. And that's what coryflorist.com.
Yeah.
Florist. Tell us about that.
That is another one. I have a total 3 companies in Singapore. One of them is to export orchids. I have an orchid farm, a big orchid farm in Indonesia, just about 45 minutes boat ride, which I export to all over the world. I have another of my shop is for the high end, where I do corporate design. People that I've done is like for Queen Elizabeth, who came to Singapore, Elizabeth Taylor, the Sultan of Brunei, the Sultan of Johor. These are my clientele. Then,
so that's where the bucks come in.
No, not really. But I had the passion to teach. That's where I went international. I traveled all over the world to give my knowledge of Ikebana to the rest of the world who's interested, and to spread the goodwill of flowers. That's where my expertise comes in, to share this knowledge of Ikebana.
When you said you have a passion to teach, I want you to shed more light on that. Why? What's
think,
exciting about teaching?
I think I get such a high when I can impart my knowledge, which I've learned, and God gives that I am probably gifted in this, and I think teaching comes natural to me. And when I have this passion, I tend to have an influence to the other student. So the passion from me goes to the student, and they become so passionate to this subject.
You have to forget to have lunch. I'm not coming. you guys.
Like as he's saying, why he teaches and why we want to learn. Today he taught us how to bend a leaf by a certain way, which was amazing. I mean, we all didn't know
bend a leaf.
Just bend a leaf to the way you want it to be, and it's difficult, but the way he showed you is fantastic.
Well, that's the beauty about Japanese art forms. This massive detail about handling life. Please tell us, what all have you learned from Christopher, and tell us more about it.
Since yesterday, I've been in awe. Every moment is a learning moment, and I really feel that tomorrow what's going to happen next, and I want to get more and more material, because maybe he'll ask for something, and I really should have it. It should not be that, I'm missing on something because I don't have the material. So today, if you would have come to the Japanese consulate, each one of us was carrying 3 buckets, all full of foliage and flowers.
And it's just not getting the leaves. It's a certain way we do it.
Yes.
They have to be washed, they have to be cleaned, they have to be put in water, to soak up the water so they remain fresh. Then we have to keep them all separate in, newspapers, wet through a little, put them in water, flowers. It's very interesting.
The love, the detail, the passion Chris just talked about when he's teaching. You do phenomenal work, and as long as I've known you, this is what you've done. What drives you to do that? The passion, the sense of achievement of 2.5 million people this year?
2.4.
2.4 million. How does that work out? And the reason I'm asking that question is, again, whether you agree or not, I think we need to talk, especially media. We talk about harsh things. We talk about hard things. We talk about bitter things. But we have forgotten to talk about soft things. We've forgotten to talk about the simple beauty of life. We've forgotten to talk about the simple passions of life. We think we're great achievers in life, and in my 60 years of life, I'm going to change the world. I'm not going to do any of that. The best we can do is probably live a decent, simple life. Please come.
10 years ago, I retired, and I had a reasonably successful career. So I decided that, rather than take up a consultancy, which most retired people do, I'd rather do something for people who are less privileged than I was. And as I said, it's the stroke of luck that I happened to be born in the right family. Now, when you see the poverty in this country, particularly if you go to the rural areas, it actually really shakes you up.
Yeah.
I've been to one of our hospitals when I had just joined, and I saw people from Thar in Sindh,
Gee.
and surgery, etc. So they had brought with them khana, food, right, for the stay. They were going to be there for 2 days. And they brought with them, all they had was sukhi rotiyan, dry chapatis, bread, which they used to dip in a glass of water, soften it because it was could not be eaten as it is because it has become hard. Now that's poverty at its, when you see that and you say, as you were saying, you spend 6,000 rupees on dinner, right? So I mean, the thing is so stark. That's wasted money. Here's a life that you could have, and you could change that life. That individual who at the moment can't see, therefore is not a productive member of society, cannot earn a living, dependent upon.
Absolutely.
You can make him a person who stands on his own feet. He will earn his own living, or she will earn her own living. He has dignity then, or as a human being. That respect you give back to him.
Respect it. Absolutely. Very well said. Christopher, I have a few minutes. Any closing notes from yourself?
I feel on this passion of this flowers, on this Ikebana, we should be able to share and use our talent and to help as much as we can and spread the love of Ikebana, not having war all over the place, not having enemies all over, but the love of it to bring everybody together as in one language, flowers.
Any closing notes?
When we support LRBT, I feel it has to do with the eyes, and our working with flowers is also to do something with the eyes, the color, the depth, and everything.
Very well said.
Faisal, we went to SIUT. What we do is for Boys' Day, Japan celebrates Boys' Day, Girls' Day.
Yes.
They have different. Japan is they're very resilient people, and they do such a lot. So we try and go to and visit hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to SIUT, and we did arrangements for them in every ward, and it was so satisfying for children. They just come out from a dialysis, and auntie, can we arrange with you?
Phenomenal.
So
Fantastic.
it was so beautiful, and wow.
Thank you, all of you, for being here. God bless you. For doing fantastic work. God bless you. Sakbai, I can't even begin to say what you're doing. Thank you for all your great effort. Christopher, thank you very much. You're more than welcome in our country, in our homes, in our hearts, and we hope that you're here very often. And we have a deal. Every time you're here, we'll have a show together.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for being here. It's some of these shows which make being on TV worthwhile. Making people fight is easy to do. Please.
We went to the burn center, and there was a lady, her husband had thrown acid on her, and one side had gone. And you know what she said? Thank God that I have one eye. So this is,
I have, whatever I would say would be of no value after what has been said here. Thank you very much, all of you. Good luck. And please, join IKEBANA if you have time. Even if you don't have time, join IKEBANA. Like Chris said, it's love and kinship beyond languages and beyond our differences. Until next time, good night.